November 5th, 2025. The Virtual Telescope Project just released 2 new images of 3I Atlas. And what they show, or rather, what they don't show, has scientists scrambling for answers. Subscribe now if you want to see where this goes, because in 6 weeks, we'll know if we're looking at the strangest comet in history or the first confirmed artificial object from another star system. The object appears as a compact source of light. Clean, bright, no tail, no coma, no debris cloud. Here's why that's a problem. Based on the acceleration NASA detected at perihelion, this object should have lost at least 13% of its total mass over 5.5 billion tons of material. That kind of mass loss doesn't just vanish. It creates a massive, incredibly bright cloud around the object that would be impossible to miss. It's not there. Even more disturbing, the object looks virtually identical to how it appeared in Hubble observations back in July. 4 months. No visible change. The same. Images captured Comet Lemon, a normal solar system comet. Lemon shows exactly what we expect. A bright tail streaming away from the sun pushed by solar radiation. That's what comets do. Atlas? Mysteriously clean. No visual signature of the mass loss that should be lighting up every telescope pointing at it. Let's be absolutely clear about what we're dealing with. On October 29th, at its closest point to the Sun, 3I Atlas started accelerating in ways gravity alone cannot explain. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory filed a report showing the object is 4 arcseconds away from where it should be based on pure gravitational calculations. At 203 million kilometers from the Sun, that deviation is enormous. The object is accelerating at 0.02 millimeters per second squared. Sounds tiny. But over 1 month, that pushed Atlas 80,000 kilometers off its expected path. And it's not random. The acceleration has 2 components working simultaneously. An outward push away from the Sun at 135 kilometers per day squared, about 60,000 kilometers per month, plus a sideways push at 60 kilometers per day squared, another 27,000 kilometers perpendicular. This isn't drift. This is directed force, acting in 2 different directions at the same time. Before anyone panics, this acceleration isn't sending Atlas toward Earth. The deviation isn't enough to threaten any planet except Jupiter, where it's expected in March 2026. But here's what makes this impossible to ignore. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb ran the calculations. With Atlas's mass at least 33 billion tons and this acceleration rate, the physics is straightforward. To create that push through natural outgassing, the object would need to lose at least 1/6 of its total mass during the month around perihelion. That's 5.5 billion tons of gas minimum. 5.5 billion tons of gas doesn't just disappear. That amount of material would create a cloud so massive and bright, it would be impossible not to see with our pressed telescopes. We're talking about a debris field larger than anything we've observed from comets at this distance. Between late November and late January, dozens of ground-based telescopes plus Hubble and James Webb will all be observing Atlas. On December 19th, it makes its closest approach to Earth at 167 million miles. If that gas cloud is there, we'll see it, guaranteed. But what if it's not? This is where the scientific discussion gets uncomfortable. If we don't see that massive gas cloud, the natural explanation collapses. If there's no cloud matching the amount of gas needed to create this acceleration, we're forced to consider that the acceleration is coming from something else. Something that doesn't require venting billions of tons of material into space. We've seen this pattern before. Oumuamua, the first confirmed interstellar object in 2017, showed non-gravitational acceleration without any detectable outgassing. The super-sensitive Spitzer Space Telescope couldn't find gas or dust coming off it. Scientists called it a dark comet, which is basically admitting the term comet no longer fits, but refusing to say what it actually is. But 3I Atlas is showing behaviors even stranger than Oumuamua. Two additional anomalies that make natural explanations harder to accept. First, unprecedented brightening. As Atlas approached the Sun, its brightness increased following a power law with an exponent of -7.5. Normal comets brighten at -2 to -3. Atlas is brightening more than twice as fast as any comet we've ever observed. Completely unprecedented. Second, the blue color. Atlas appears bluer than the Sun itself at closest approach. This is physically bizarre because dust makes things look redder, not bluer. The surface should be about 20 times colder than the Sun's surface. Cold surfaces glow red, not blue. Natural explanations involve ionized gases like carbon dioxide emitting light directly, possible. But combined with the missing debris cloud, the extreme acceleration, and the Oumuamua pattern, it's another piece that doesn't fit. Now, scientists aren't declaring Atlas is definitely alien technology. The argument is about methodology. When data doesn't fit theories, you don't dismiss the data. You explore all possible explanations, even uncomfortable ones. Dr. Avi Loeb's position is clear. You can't say the data is wrong just because you don't have a theory that fits it. That's terrible science. So let's walk through what makes Atlas unlike anything we've encountered. First, the impossible trajectory. Atlas is traveling aligned to just 5 degrees from the ecliptic plane where all planets orbit. Objects from other star systems should arrive from random directions. The probability of this alignment happening by chance, 0.2%. Like hitting a target in the dark. Second, the physics-defying jet. In July and August 2025, Atlas created a jet pointing toward the Sunday. Every known comet creates tails, pointing away from the Sun due to radiation pressure. Basic physics. Atlas did the opposite. Third, too massive, too fast. Atlas is 1,000,000 times more massive than Oumuamua, 1,000 times larger than Borisov, yet moves faster than both. Large objects in interstellar space normally move slower. Atlas breaks that rule. Fourth, perfect timing. Arrived at the exact moment to pass close to Mars, Venus, and Jupiter while remaining invisible from Earth during perihelion. The temporal precision is rarer than winning the lottery. Fifth, industrial composition. Spectral analysis shows much more nickel than iron, a ratio typical of metallic alloys produced industrially on Earth, not natural cosmic mixtures. Sixth, impossibly dry. Comets are 80–90% water ice. Atlas has 4% water, drier than Earth's harshest deserts. Challenges the basic definition of what a comet is. Seventh, unnatural light polarization. Atlas shows a polarization pattern never seen in any natural object, like a fingerprint that doesn't match anything in nature's database. Eighth, wow, signal connection. Arrived from the same direction as the 1977 wow. Signal, the most mysterious radio transmission ever detected. Two events separated by 48 years, pointing to the same cosmic coordinates. Probability of coincidence, 0.6%. Ninth, hotter than the Sunday. Appears bluer than the Sun, suggesting internal temperatures exceeding 5,800 Kelvin. Cold rocks don't glow blue. This indicates an energy source hotter than the Sun's surface. The physics is crystal clear. Massive acceleration requires massive mass loss. If we don't see the gas cloud that should accompany 5.5 billion tons of ejected material, we're left with only one explanation that fits the data. This isn't behaving like a natural object. As we approach December 19th, when Atlas reaches its closest point to Earth, hundreds of telescopes will be searching for that gas. Ground-based observatories, Hubble, Webb, all synchronized to detect the debris cloud that must exist if this is a comet. If the cloud is there, we have the strangest comet ever recorded. Bizarre composition, impossible brightness, unprecedented behavior, but ultimately natural. If the cloud isn't there, every natural explanation we have collapses. And we're looking at something demonstrating propulsion capabilities that challenge our understanding of physics itself. Think about what this moment represents. We're not speculating about signals from distant galaxies. We're not analyzing ancient radio transmissions. We're tracking an object in our own solar system with instruments precise enough to detect billions of tons of gas if it exists. The test is binary. Either the cloud is there or it's not. There's no middle ground. If it's there, case closed. Weird comet with properties we've never seen, but natural. If it's not there, we're forced to consider controlled propulsion, an object that can accelerate without losing proportional mass. Technology, operating outside known physics. Some researchers are already speculating. Maybe it's an autonomous probe launched by an ancient civilization millions of years ago. Maybe it's monitoring equipment, gathering data about our solar system. Maybe it operates on a set schedule, scanning for life, or assessing technological progress. One theory gaining traction in underground science circles: the mirror galaxy effect. The idea that every time a civilization reaches the nuclear power threshold, an observation device activates from interstellar space to assess that civilization's threat level. Atlas, according to some, may be that device. A silent gatekeeper watching us. December 19th, 2025. That's when we find out. Not in years, not in decades, in weeks. Hundreds of telescopes, multiple space observatories, all searching for 5.5 billion tons of gas that should be impossible to miss. If it's not there, we're not just looking at a comet that broke the rules. We're looking at the first confirmed artificial object from another star system. A piece of technology demonstrating capabilities humanity doesn't possess. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you think the debris cloud will show up? Do you think there's a natural explanation we're missing? Or do you think December 19th is the day everything changes? Leave your answer in the comments. I genuinely want to know where you stand before the data drops. And if you want to follow this in real time, if you want to be here when those December observations get released, when we find out whether that cloud exists or not, hit subscribe and turn on notifications right now. Because this isn't hype. This is a testable scientific prediction with a hard deadline. By late December, we'll have our answer. And whatever that answer is, it rewrites human history. See you in the next one.